Today, my dad and I are going to rebuild using Everton and Wolves. However, this won't be your average rebuild, because we are only allowed to sign free transfer players, and we're not allowed to touch our transfer budget. So strap yourselves in and enjoy the first time we've ever attempted the free transfer only rebuild. And here is your reminder how points are won and lost in versus rebuilds. Right, Dad, a new task for us on hand.
Yeah.
Something really that I think you're going to struggle with. Free transfers only.
Yeah, I think I will on this one.
We've decided.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, we've decided to go with Wolves and Everton. However, you'll notice we're at 2028 because we've decided to go a little bit further into the future. Now, the reason for that is so that all of the free transfers aren't the ones that you're used to seeing every time you do a new save, because obviously the contracts start the same. So we went until the 2028 season had finished, so roughly 4 years into the future, when a lot of the contracts have now been extended or they've gone to clubs, etc., to give it a little bit of a fresh start for us. And we picked Everton and Wolves because they were both 14th and 15th, very close to each other and very close financially as well.
Yeah.
So we're near the bottom half of the Premier League table as it stands, and that's where we need to build from. Our teams have developed in terms of the players at the clubs from what you would be used to seeing it. Obviously, this is 3 years down the line, so this is the team that we are rocking with right now. But I do actually have 1 or 2 free transfers that I have decided to go for. Actually, there's quite a lot. At the start of the season here, you can see there is a good amount, 7 or 8 there. So I've got Harvey Barnes, who's come in as a free transfer, Daniel Hansen, who's more of a youth intake type of product, Masengo in centre mid, then we got Vinyas, a striker, Barroso, who can play both sides, Sotil, who can play both sides further up the pitch, Zalazar, who can play centre mid or centre attacking midfield, and then finally Lewis Ferguson, who I think is actually probably the better one out of the lot there, who can play for us. So that is my team. But there was a lot of players there already at the club, being that we were a little bit further on. Ahmed Hozic is one of them. We've got quite a lot of different players in there. Christian Norgard that you'll notice, and they've lost a few players as well. So you can see why they were struggling down there. Amin Gori being kind of like the star man up front. So tactically, I decided to go with this. I'm not locking anybody in this season, but I've got a pressing forward, and this is my best 11, as you can see. Pressing forward with an attacking midfield in behind. I've got defensive winger because I love them right now, and Dwight McNeil is actually really good at playing that because he's got 12 tackling and good work rates and stuff, so he actually really fits the defensive winger side of things. That is my team. Let's have a look at Dad's.
Yeah.
I think you had the better of the two teams going into this. I think you started off with the better of the two teams.
I let you choose though, didn't I?
You did? Yeah, that's true. But you have brought in 3 players, in fact 4 players. One of them you had to pay a fee, but he was a free transfer anyway, in Jesus Vasquez. Then we've got Celtai Bi, who is
needed a
good keeper. You couldn't even get a work permit. You still went through with it. Victor Gomez, right back. And then Hoekstra, who is another goalkeeper, young goalkeeper, that you decided to go for.
I had a weak defence, I had to get a right back in. So, but the rest, I thought the only other position I would struggle for was a striker. When I'd done my team, I had to go with one up front. And you know, I don't usually play one up front.
No.
So
Ryan Brewster being that one up front. You do have good strikers, I think, because you've got the likes of Sasha Kaladzic, who's quite good on the game. As you can see, he goes into that number 1. He's 6'7". He's a bit of a beast. But you've got a good team, I think.
This is probably my best player as well.
Noni Madueke's in there, yeah. So he's fantastic. Sam Greenwood's also in there. Somehow you've got Calafiori from Arsenal already.
That.
So that's quite good. Some decent players in there. Petrovic in goal.
Doyle's a good player as well.
Yep.
Good solid midfielder.
It's a good starting side to have
to
go into this challenge. But what we are going to do and how we're going to do it is we're going to come back every July and first have a look at who's going out of contract in 6 months' time, see if we can pick any up there. Then we're coming back at the end of the season as we would anyway, but you won't see the January parts. I did say July. You won't see the January parts. We're going to come back every January and try and get some players. You won't see that. We'll just come back at the end of June. We might have some signings that we have made, and then we'll try and get some more as they are going out of contract by, at the end of June. And then when they are out of contract, maybe we'll pick some more up then. So that's how we're going to do it. No transfer money at all. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. First season then. Let's see our results so far. It hasn't gone too well for your dad. You got 1 win there from 4 and out of the cup by Wrexham.
Yeah, great, eh?
Not great start.
Great start for me, yeah.
In 17th place in the Premier League already. However, ta-da! I have
start,
started magically.
Only one you've lost is away at Anfield. That's not a bad result.
Not bad when that was in the Cup as well. Drew to Newcastle, and I am currently first in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I mean, Liverpool's in the relegation zone.
I've just look at that. I'm just saying it was not a bad result, but for the Everton fans, that's an awful result. That's probably the one game they wanted to win.
Yeah.
And especially when you look where Liverpool are.
But there we go. It's very early days.
Yeah.
We're judging this after 4 games when, that's wait until we're the end of the season where I'm down where you are.
I'm doing better than Liverpool.
Yeah. But all right, let's simulate the rest of season number 1 then and see if we can pick up any free transfers as we go into season number 2. I knew I would drop off, but I didn't think I'd drop off that much.
I'm pleased with that.
I mean, you finished above me. You all know the points already, so Dad gets 1 point for just finishing above me there. Funny where Liverpool ended up in 6th.
Yeah.
That's from where we mentioned it, but there we go. I didn't think I'd drop off that much. I thought I'll probably get to mid-table, but...
Look at the teams that won the joint top.
Yeah.
Man United.
Man United and Tottenham. Funny that, isn't it? But look who won it. Somehow with 12 losses.
Yeah.
1 from each of us as well. Now, speaking of the losses, did you lose to me? You did. So that's 1 point for me there. I haven't lost to you. I can't see that. We might have to double check that in a sec, though. But let's have a look at the actual profile of the season. So Kaladzic, your backup striker, got 21 goals. He was actually the 2nd top scorer in the league.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
So that's not bad at all. And he actually got the most player of the matches across the season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, where you're going on really weak up front.
Yeah, I got 2 good ones.
Yeah, so there we go. But, all right, good point for you at the start of the season there, Dad. Everton, though.
Good start.
Did I manage to win a cup? No. We knew I was already out of the Carabao Cup, but 3rd round by Oxford is not fantastic. Amin Gori was my top scorer with 17 goals. Let's have a look at you, Dad. Did you manage to win anything? No. Tottenham. Nice. Right, so transfer-wise then, we did come back in January.
Yeah.
And we did approach quite a few players. Some came to us, some didn't. So let's see. So, on the ins, Dad, you've got Per Schurz, centre-back, and Kasper Dolberg, who is a bit of a striker/winger. So those are the 2 that you've got. Yeah. And then the ones that I managed to pick up was Juan Miranda, who is a very good left-back, and Andrea Colpani, who is more of a centre mid or centre attacking midfielder, and I might decide to try and utilise that in some way. I haven't really decided what to do that yet.
This is what I've really struggled on, is their age, because I'm looking at their age and thinking, I wouldn't even sign you usually.
You're doing it for the here and now.
Yeah, free signings are nearly like always 29, 30, 31, 32.
But then you're not really into free transfers.
Yeah, I know, but I just
when it's freebies only, you were really struggling.
Yeah, I mean, I had, what was it, 55? I had about 55 million as well, didn't I?
Yeah.
And you can't spend that, and you think, I could just do a bit more money just to sort of get this player in or get that player in. And they're not there, are they?
No, well, that's the challenge.
Yeah.
The free transfer only. Goals-wise then, Amin Gori got 17, but the rest of it was very woeful. And on your side of things, 23 from Kaladzic. Again, though, 7 from Sam Greenwood, who was the 2nd top scorer. So things need to change, unfortunately for us. And I'll tell you what, it needs to happen quickly, because else, if I keep going any further, I'm going to end up in the relegation zone. On to season number 2. I have to say, as your internet daddy, I'm rather disappointed in you, because you're still scouring the internet without any protection. And that's where my friends at NordVPN come in. Especially when the excuses usually for these type of things are, oh, it's too expensive or it's too difficult to use. NordVPN is ridiculously cheap. It's like the price of a cup of coffee for the whole month. Not to mention, using my link at the top of the description, you can also get an extra 4 months on top of a 2-year plan. And this is how easy it is to use. Once you load it up, you pretty much just auto-connect anyway, but if you literally look on this world map, if you decide today, I want to be in America, you click to zoom and just click wherever you want to go. Salt Lake City, right now, it auto-connects to Salt Lake City, meaning my virtual private network will just direct me through the United States. So now, where I'm scanning the internet, all these naughty people online, they cannot get hold of all of my stuff because my VPN is tracking me through the United States. Not to mention the benefits that you can get from just having that alone, such as all of your popular Netflix shows that you really love and enjoy watching, and then all of a sudden Netflix decides, in the UK you can't watch that anymore, but if you go to the America Netflix or maybe the Australian one, they still have it on there. This will help you be able to just carry on watching your favorite shows. games. It's really easy to do. There's obviously other benefits as well, but hey, 3 o'clock kickoffs. They suck in the UK, don't they? Get yourself NordVPN. But the protection side of NordVPN is why I think this is the most important stuff. As your internet daddy, it is important for me to keep telling you to use protection. Look at this, the Threat Protection Pro that is part of NordVPN. I have it turned on. You can see all the things that it is blocking. Malware blocker. That's how I lost my YouTube channel last time, because of the dodgy bit of malware. An ad blocker, URL trimmer. There's loads of different stuff. And if you look down here, all the websites that I've been using where NordVPN has blocked out threats. 131 threats blocked from Google. I mean, even just YouTube, YouTube Studio, all of my websites that I use every single day, NordVPN is protecting me through all of that. So in conclusion, you're a bit of a dingus if you're not picking up a NordVPN subscription, because the protection alone is just so valuable. But all the added benefits can also help you too. It's really easy to use, and of course, really reasonable in terms of price. The link at the top of my description is a personal link where if you go through that, you'll benefit me as well using that link, nordvpn.com/omegaloop. 4 months added on to a 2-year plan, and at a monthly cost of roughly a cup of coffee, it's too good to turn down. Hey, use protection, kids and adults, while scouring the internet. You're probably the worst ones. Okay then, the only other free transfer that I managed to get was Santiago Hetze, who is a centre midfield, or CDM really, just as a backup ball-winning midfielder, if I'm honest, because that's kind of where I was lacking, if anything. But outside of that, yeah, we couldn't really do much else. There wasn't a lot of free transfers coming in, and the ones that were there did not want to come to Everton or Wolves by the looks of it. So, Dad, you had a very similar situation. You actually had picked up 3 players outside of that.
Yeah.
One was a goalkeeper in Lewis Jr.
I was lucky with this one, I think, because sometimes it is quite hard to get a good goalkeeper, and they're only 28, so I was pleased with this one.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
David Strelak is a okay striker.
Number okay, yeah, sort of.
Not one that you would be signing normally.
No, definitely not.
And then Andre Santos is a centre midfielder again.
Yeah, just supposed to the squad, really. Like you say, he's an okay midfielder, but
yeah,
nothing special.
Tactically, then you've changed it.
Yeah, I've gone 2 up front, like I always do. I try and do. I got a good attacking midfielder, and the young lad on the wing there. I wanted to make the midfield a little bit stronger. So I dropped him back into that sort of role that you sort of like taught me how to use from now on. So I'm sort of trying him in that sort of position, see if it works for me.
Yeah, watch it backfire when he does really well for me.
I got Gomez sort of like going across to the other side as well.
Well, your best striker you've actually loaned out, so that's not great stuff from you.
I
but
didn't loan him.
There we go. Now, tactically myself, I'm going for this. Just a 4-2-3-1. Very standard. Let's just see how it pays off for me, because obviously the start of the season last year was great. I'm locking in Amin Gori to play up front, because when I don't do that, sometimes he would go to the left where I don't really want him to play. It does say Oscar Pereira's in there, but I loaned him out because I don't really like him anyway. So hopefully Dwight McNeil goes in there. I know he's more of a left-footed winger, but I prefer inside forwards for this tactic because it kind of acts like a 3-striker formation then with an advanced playmaker. So we'll see how that one plays out, because now I've got Miranda, who can really bomb forward and attack from that left-back position. I'd like to utilise that, although he has picked up a bit of an injury and he's waiting for some fractured ribs, so he might be out for a while. The schedule so far then, again, I've had an okay start, to be honest. I shouldn't really be drawing to Norwich 2-2. So that was disappointing, but
yeah.
A loss to Man City isn't too disheartening when Erling Haaland scores 84th minute. Yeah, but a nice win against Leeds, which was good, and I felt quite comfortable in that with the 2 goals until the 95th minute there. So not bad. Already out of the cup though. That's a shame.
Yeah.
That is a shame to Burnley, but there we go. Dad, your schedule so far. You've lost to Chelsea.
Yeah.
But other than that, it hasn't been too bad.
Started a little bit better this time, yeah.
Yeah, you've had a win against Arsenal, which is a cracking win. 2-0 up as well until Ødegaard scored quite late on. And you beat Brighton, and they've been good on this.
Yeah.
They've been really good.
That's always a good win against Brighton, really.
And you're through the next round of the Cup.
Pleased with that.
You've got Villa next, which is a bit of a rivalry in there.
Yeah, that's the game you really want to win.
Yeah, so...
And at home as well, so I should be favourite.
Okay, well, we'll see how that one plays out. Season number 2 of free transfers only. We'll be popping back into January, and hopefully we can show you some new faces at the end of June. Okay, that's a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Just missed out on Champions League football as well. 6th place finish for me. Gisby Europa League football.
Yeah.
You're down in 9th, Dad. You finish above Arsenal and Chelsea.
I've got to be pleased with that, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And Villa. Because,
Yeah.
the Wolves fans will be looking for Villa, huh?
56 points that you got. I only got 63, so there's 7 points between us there. I get a point for finishing higher, which isn't too bad. Now, Dad, you actually won one of the games last year, which we forgot to mention. So I won one, you won one, and you finished higher. So it was 2-1 before we went into this season. I've got a point now for finishing higher, but we'll have a look at the fixtures here. You beat me twice.
Oh, get in.
So already,
That puts me right back in it.
yeah, you have finished a little bit higher than me there. So good for you, but finished higher in the league. I've got Europa League football next season, which is good. Kaladzic got 19. Gorey got 17, so that's fantastic. Competitions, though. We're on Everton. Have I won a cup? Oh. FA Cup. Runners up. Runners up. Extra time as well against the Arsenal. You can see that obviously they won something because they're in Europa League next year, but that is so frustrating. Okay, Dad, what about yourself? No, but 4th round by Everton. Yes. Which gives me 2 points straight away. Oh, he was in a replay.
Yeah.
So we drew the first one, and I beat you 4-0 in the second one. Did you even show up?
No.
4-0. Wow. Okay, when Arsenal was beating Millwall 8-1. Like, bloody hell. So 4-0 there. That's 2 points for one beating you, one knocking you out the competition. So that evens it up a little bit there. So that's great. Transfer-wise, though, as we mentioned, we came back in January. Dad, you picked up 2 signings going in from the January. We've got Diao here, who is a bit of a tricky winger.
Yeah.
Not amazing.
Give me a bit of whip, so try something different.
And then Ljubicic.
Yeah.
He's
another striker, yeah. So pleased to get this guy in.
Really good striker.
Yeah.
Myself, though, transfer-wise, I picked up Samu, who is a really good ball-winning midfielder. Obviously, he's a Mallorca player, so me and Dad like him after going to watch them last year. And then, Hyung-Yu.
Not him again.
Yes, it is. Cracking striker.
No, it's not.
All right, not at the Panto now. Good pressing forward, the cracking aggression. He's got good strength on him, determination. So he will chase balls down, and that's what I've decided to bring him in. I quite like the fact that he's very consistent as well. He's well travelled. You can see there his adaptability is high, so he does well in other leagues. All of these things do add up to hopefully what will be a cracking player for me on a free transfer as well. So can't complain too much.
No.
But we've both got budgets enough so that we can start offering and finding ourselves some more free transfers. But before we do that, let's have a look at the points. So the season 2 points are Omega Luke with 3 and Omega Dad with 2, meaning the total points are now Omega Luke with 4 and Omega Dad with 4. All right, we are 4 points apiece going into season number 3. Not a lot in it at all.
Nope.
I did, however, bring in 3 new players, so let's introduce you to them. Brian Zaragoza, he has picked up an injury at the start of the season, because of course he did, where he's out for 3 months. Brilliant. But he was going to be one of my best starting wingers. He now has to recover from the bench. I also have Yannick Engelhardt from Como, who is more of just like an all-round midfielder that I got in just for numbers, if I'm honest. And Sam Bukema. I realised I only had 2 centre-backs, so Sam has come in and being a starting third. I've never actually used him before, which is quite nice to bring in somebody that I don't think I've ever used before. So there we go. He's a good centre-back as well near the end of his career. I've lost a couple of players, but nobody from my starting 11, I guess. And I'm going to stick with the tactic that got me European football next year. And this is what the starting 11 looks like. So I'm happy to have Hyung-Gu starting up front. And Gori can now naturally go to the left-hand side where he definitely suits. I really like having Gori from that position because he still contributes in a lot of goals. Zalazar is still in behind Garner and Ferguson holding my midfield together there. So Bukema comes in as that starting centre-back next to Jared Branthwaite. I'm happy with this team so far. Over to you, Dad. You obviously brought in 2 players already. Now you've brought in a lot more. So 4 in total. We could ignore that one. You haven't done that one.
No.
I don't think so.
I didn't pay.
Unless it was a free transfer that you did, but you had to pay a compensation fee.
Might have been then, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not you spending money.
No.
Because I would have noticed that and I'd have banned you from doing it. Pepperloo was one of them that you brought in.
Yeah.
Centre mid or CDM.
Yeah, just sort of bolstering the midfield a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping anyway.
Mohamed Diamonde, who plays quite naturally
in
a few different positions.
Plays in a few positions, so as I always say, good squad player.
He's cracking. I like using Mohamed Diamonde as well. Good to see how much he's progressed. And Wilson Odobert.
Good left-sided winger who can play in the defence winger sort of role as well. So that was my sort of thinking with that. Only 25
player
so,
as well.
Yeah, only 25. So it was good to pick up a youngster sort of, as I was going to say.
Just signed for Spurs.
Yeah.
Weird for you doing that, being an Arsenal fan.
I knew that was going to happen then. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not an Arsenal fan.
All right.
All I can say is I'm not buying an Arsenal player for months.
Cue to next week's video.
Yeah.
Now, Dad, you've gone for a 4-4-2. As
Yes.
you mentioned, bringing in Odobert.
Yeah.
He can then use the winger positions.
I've got two wide midfielders now that can play wing as well. So two good players as well. So I'm hoping this is going to be a good formation for me now.
But you watching at home are going, who the hell is Voicey?
Yeah.
And why is he in your starting 11, Dad?
Yeah, I brought him in because he's come from the youth academy and he is good.
Indeed.
So we loaned him out the first season, didn't I? I loaned him out a few seasons.
I didn't.
No, I loaned him out the first.
You actually started loaning him out this year, then realised you needed him.
Yeah, did you? Well,
he was on the loan list from last year.
Yeah, he was on the loan list, and I thought I took him off the list, and I didn't. So he went out, and I had to bring him back again. So I've locked him in. He's scored a few goals, so I'm locking him in now.
All right, well, we'll see how he develops throughout the season. Only aged 19.
I was taking a bit of a chance locking him because I have got another good striker there, and I was losing one good striker. But you got to start him somewhere, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's your team lining up there. Let's have a look at the schedule then so far for you. You've got a couple of losses against Liverpool and Spurs. Manchester United you did beat 3-2, 5-2 against Leeds.
I beat all the easy teams, didn't I? Get it in when I got a chance, mate. You got to get it in when you get a chance. You was a bit slow, so I'm in.
Fair enough. 1-1. West Brom you beat 3-1, so you are through to the next round.
I just hope an Arsenal player don't come in. I don't realise he used to play for Arsenal. So.
I can't wait. That's obviously my team. My schedule at the start of the season, I drew to your team Arsenal 1-1. Lost to Manchester City though, unfortunately. Erling Haaland again. Bournemouth was a 0-0. That's a disappointing one. I did beat Aston Villa 3-2 away from home, which is quite hard to do, especially when they got players knock around like Samu Marodion, who we all know is look at that. Jesus,
he's a beast, isn't he? He's a beast.
Look at the physicals. Why can't he come up as a free transfer?
Yeah.
But there we go. We're scrapping around all the terrible players that can't get contracts. But okay, fair enough. As we go into season number 3 then, let's simulate it and see what happens. Season 3 and I'm still above you.
I'm stuck in that mid-table area, aren't I? Really, I can't get out of it.
And I have Champions League football next year.
Yeah.
Get in. Ninth place finish for you, Dad.
I mean, I'm happy with it. I'm in the mid-table just below where it's where Wolves expect to be. But I think half the time, really, isn't it? And they'll be happy to be finishing around there. So
it shows how hard this challenge is because it's very difficult getting free transfers and trying to build a team.
I mean, when you start off with a half decent side, which both of us did really, when you look at the players that we had, you got sort of like one good player in each position, really. And you're trying to get a better player in that position. It's just not there.
No.
You get the one odd player that comes up now and again, or take a chance on a youngster coming through.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done with this season, really.
I keep finding Dad scrolling through players. I'm like, why are you looking at them? He's like, I was trying to find somebody. I'm like, you're looking at players where it says like good League One player.
Yeah.
And you're like considering it. I'm like, no, come on, move away. Right.
I think the biggest shock on this league table is look at Fulham.
Yeah, they won something.
They won something, didn't they?
Yeah, finishing in 17th
Fulham.
place. Profile of the league then. Amin Ghouri got 20 goals. Get in. Nice one from you, my friend. You're the only one that's up there for us. But we are on Everton Cup competitions. Did I manage to do anything in Europa League this year? No, but I did win the Carabao Cup. Get in. Yes.
Of course you did. You always win a cup, don't you?
Carabao Cup winners. I was in the semi-final of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Fulham went on and won it, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So good for them.
Yeah, because we know they won something and you won the other cup, so that must be the FA Cup, yeah.
And your team Arsenal knocked me out of the Europa League. But there we go. I beat Newcastle in the final. You were in the semi-final.
Oh.
Oh, you lost to Newcastle 6-2. It was 2-2, and then the second leg, they absolutely done you.
Yeah.
Man, I knocked out Sunderland. It could have been a Sunderland versus Newcastle.
Yeah, it could have been, yeah.
Wow, okay, so that was 5-2 on aggregate. So that's interesting. We both managed. Oh, you were so close. We could have played each other in the final then. That would have been interesting. Semi-final by Fulham. They've managed to get to the final at the very least. We'll have a look at. Well, we know you haven't won it actually because they beat Liverpool in the final. Good for them.
Yeah.
In the Europa League, got to the quarterfinals, knocked out by Arsenal 3-1 there on aggregate. The round of 16 knocked out Napoli, so that's a cracking side. Didn't play in the knockout playoff round, which meant in the league phase, I did very well.
Well done.
Only lost 1 against Sturm Graz and won 7. Arguably the worst team that I faced. But there we go.
13th.
Yeah. And I battered Stuttgart 5-0. Beat Sporting in Portugal 2-0.
Good result that is, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to you Portuguese boys watching at home. Arsenal actually went on to win it. So you can't beat Grumble too much when they beat the other Portuguese side that's in this, Porto. So yeah, I can't be too mad when they go on and win it. There we go. Congratulations. Free transfers then. Did we have any? Of course we did. João Marquez I'm bringing in at the end of the season. He is a winger who can also play centre attacking midfield. Now, Dad, let's have a look to see the rest of your stuff. Competitions. Plymouth Argyle knocked you out.
You're having a laugh. Come on.
In the third round.
You do me a favour.
How much did they beat you by? 2. No, that was me. 2-0 on a replay.
So I lost. Did I lose away, didn't I?
Yeah, it was. Home Park.
Yeah, I can beat him at home.
Missed a penalty as well. Carlos Corberan. Be interested to see where Rooney is now. Oh, he's not. Oh, yeah, there he is. He was sacked. Oh, he's retired. Retired at 45. Yeah. Hilarious. All right, free transfer wise, Dad, didn't find anybody in the January, so having to wait until we go, well, have a look in a second. But before we have a look at the points, let's look at the league games. So you beat me there 2-1 at your ground.
Yeah.
And then when we played away, I won 4-1. So a point each as we go into that. So
looking at the league table just now as well, I think that young lad I put in locked in, I think he ended up with my league and goal scorer as well.
Yeah, let's have a look. So he got 14, Ben Voicey. He's developed quite well, as you can see there. Lubicic got 13, so a few goals going in for you there.
Yeah,
but you're gonna have to start added into that side, unfortunately. I think. All right, let's have a look at the points. Season 3, then Omega Luke has gained 5 points just to Omega Dad's 1, meaning the total points so far is Omega Luke with 9 and Omega Dad with 5. Okay, going into season number 4, I found quite a lot of players during this little period here. So Arnold Tenyas comes in as probably our new number 1 goalkeeper. I think that's a really good pickup, especially when they come from Saudi Arabia on stupid wages. I mean, you have to pay them stupid wages, but now that you're doing free transfers only, you don't care.
Yeah,
I was like,
you got 55 million or 50 million in the bank.
Yeah,
and
I'll give you all the wages you want, mate.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. Nobody's cost me a penny. Saibari, a player I actually really admire from PSV, so bringing him in was a no-brainer. Yeah. Then I've got Matteo Prati, who came in as a midfielder there, so I'm happy with him. Good passing ability, good little deep line playmaker coming off the bench. And Delane Backwell, which I think might be my best asset in terms of going forward because he looks rapid. He's got a lot of flair about him. Tricky little winger on that left-hand side. So I'm happy to bring him in as well. Let's have a look at you, Dan. What have you brought in terms of free transfers? You got yourself 3 that's come in, as you can see from last season. And one of them is one of your all-time favourites from this year.
This guy. If he becomes available, I mean, you're silly not to grab him, really.
Yeah.
Good striker you can rely on for a good amount of goals. So
yeah, absolutely. Not to get confused with his brothers.
It's even better if you can get his brothers in the same team.
Yeah.
So
they all become one. It's like when you mould them all together, they just become stupidly like it's like the Power Rangers. You get them all together, and it's morphin time. Yeah. They'll form into be one. So there we go. He's already got 2 goals for you there in 4 games. You also got Philip Bongard, another striker, in fact, who can also play in behind. Not bad at all. And then finally, Roman Molyneux, who is a new gen centre-back or right back.
I was a bit weak on the right back position as in amount of players for that position. So get this guy in, he can play both. So and he's only a youngster, so good for the future, really. But
okay, let's have a look at tactics then. So you've changed it slightly.
Yeah, I've gone 2 right up front, 2 wingers, and then this is probably one of my favourite formation, so I'm just trying something that I know usually works for me in the Prem.
Okay, let's have a look to see what I'm using tactically. I'm sticking with what I've been using the last couple of years because it has been doing so well for me. So my best 11 pick is very similar to last season, in fact. And I'm quite surprised that backward doesn't get in, but I'm not worried about like locking him in. Zaragoza is injured again though, this time again for 2 months. So don't know what that guy has got a problem with playing in September.
Yeah, he don't like it, does he?
Does he? Maybe it's his sister's birthday. He's got a Neymar situation where he has to miss the start of February every season. Well, there we go. But all right, Zaragoza's out. At least we got Dylan Backwell who can come in and play there instead. So that's fine. Dwight McNeil's still knocking around, to be fair, as well. So he can still do a job at 31.
You look a bit dodgy for your next game, really, don't you? You got 2 suspensions and 2 players injured as well.
Tell me about it. Yeah, it's not looking great, but you can't bring anybody in.
No.
There we go. Schedule-wise, it's been a good start, though. I say good. It's been an okay start. I've dropped points to Brentford and Fulham, but I have beaten Luton and Tottenham. So
You haven't lost. That's the main thing, isn't it?
I beat the 2 terrible teams in the league and drew against Brentford and Fulham. But I've got Champions League football next year, which is interesting. So Champions League, got Bodo Glimt and Young Boys in there, which two games that you think, okay, and Celtic, to be fair, you think, okay, you could get 3 wins from that, potentially qualify. Yeah. And then Napoli, Marseille, and Atletico Madrid, winnable.
You got Atletico Madrid at home, so
yeah, definitely winnable.
Yeah,
it's just the 2 last ones that you're like, those are the ones that are free hits.
Yeah.
Or free transfers only, free hits. This is for the Champions League games. Dad, schedule been very good for you.
Yeah, up to the last game, so yeah, I was pleased with the way I started.
Beating Arsenal,
beating Man City.
That must have been tough for you. 90th minute winner there from Bungard.
Take that.
Beat Manchester City. Have you beaten the 2 good teams and then lost to Crystal Palace?
I don't know. Just another.
At home, drawn to Fulham as well.
Yeah, but that one not too of a good start. But the games after that, I mean, you sort of come up against Fulham and you think, get a win in there just in case. You got Man City and Arsenal next. And bang bang, you think, all right, I'll take this. Yeah, we're on our way.
Yeah.
So through the next round of the cup against Wigan, so I'm happy with that start.
All right, okay, season number 4 then. Let's see how it progresses. Season 4.
Yes,
I've dropped
better.
Right off the pace. Dad, you finished in 7th place. You also got European football going into the final year.
Yeah, I tried chucking it away by losing 3 of my last 4 games. So, but yeah, I managed to stick there. So, a bit disappointed because I could have been further up. I'd have been in the Champions League then.
Speaking of disappointment, I've dropped from Champions League down to 10th place, which is not good at all. Esposito, Dad, was the Golden Boot winner for you.
Yes, good signing that was.
Yeah,
good signing.
We had a rule for this where we could both go for the same player, and that was one of the players that I thought, should I try and go for? And I was like, no, Dad's struggling, I'll let him have that one. I fully regret it.
Do you know the worst thing about it though is when I approached him, I gave him probably about £50,000 more in wages than
what he's asking for.
Yeah, just to make sure I got him in. Yeah, because I thought Luca put in money in for him. I thought I've got to make sure I put a lot of money in for him. Then.
Yeah.
So I offered him a lot of wages.
Well, after I won the cup, then I was like, let him have it. Yeah. I don't need Esposito. How good could he be? Golden Boot.
There you go.
Regrets. I'm now down in 10th place and got no European football going into the final season. But there we go. Also, looks like I haven't won a trophy, and I haven't. 5th round by Manchester United, the FA Cup. 4th round by Palace in the Carabao Cup. At least it wasn't yourself, Dad, knocking me out. I got to the quarter-final of the Champions League, and I'm actually quite pleased with that.
I'll tell you what, mate. You're doing 3 signings. That's bloody good. That's an achievement, isn't it? Really.
5-2 against Manchester United, who just won absolutely trounced the Premier League, by the way. 83 to 78 points. And if you look at all the goals there, Højlund, Rashford, the average rating was all Manchester United as well. So they're doing really well. So I don't mind too much losing out on that. Just to get there is good enough for me. Round of 16, I had to knock out Celtic. The knockout playoff round, I didn't play in because in the league phase, I finished in the top 8.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
I can't believe that.
3 transfers and finished in the top 8.
Lost to Celtic and to PSG. I drew to Napoli, but I beat Milan 4-1 at home. So that was a cracking day.
I think the Madrid one as well. 3-0 at home is a good one as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So some good results in there. All round, a very good Champions League campaign for Everton. Their first time back, but you're not in it next year, unfortunately. There we go. Okay, let's have a look at yourself, Dad. After getting a very good Premier League finish of 7th place, just dropping out from Liverpool in 6th there. Did you win any cups? No. 5th round by Birmingham. 4th round by Leeds. 2 teams really you should be beaten.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm really disappointed with that.
Birmingham's not even in our league.
No,
so you lost
Leeds is further down
round.
a couple of places. below you, Leeds were, when they turned 12. So, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with that.
Okay.
I needed to win a cup just to get back into it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Just put the pressure on me now for the last season, innit?
So, Esposito got 22 goals and 10 assists there. Ben Voicey got 12 goals and 13 assists. So that's quite good, and he's developing well. Yeah. Obviously, we haven't got doesn't matter the transfer budget, but you have signed one player, and that's Serginho Dest going into next season that we've picked up from January.
Yeah, plays on both sides, so just to help me out, just in case I get any injuries, really.
Yeah, and myself, I've also gone for a couple of players, and I got Isaac Johannesson, so as kind of an all-round centre midfielder there, 29 years of age, the Icelandic player, and then Boyomo, because I still need options at centre back, and I really like him. He's pacey, and he can also play naturally at right back too, so I think that's a good signing there. So, okay, points wise then, let's see whether we've got some league points to distribute. So we drew there in the Premier League, but I did notice already you beat me 1-0 in your home game, which means you get another point as well as the point you have for finishing higher in the league. Let's tally up the total points. So the season points are Omega Luke with 0 and Omega Dad with 2, meaning the total points are Omega Luke still with 9 and Omega Dad with 7. Alright, so it's kind of close going into the final year.
Closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, definitely. So I've already got to book my ideas up now, I think.
Yeah.
I've signed a few more players still. Fagioli's come in at centre mid, so again, another good option there in the centre mid position. Nobody that comes in, though, and it's like lights up your team, and I think that's the trouble with the free transfers only. You're never going to get a player that all of a sudden transforms you into a title-winning side. Victor Boniface. He's a good player, kind of lacks a little bit of pace and composure, though outside of that he is good. Then we've got Loic Bade, another centre-back, to just give me more options there because I'm losing options as well. And Daryl Dyke, kind of last minute, get another striker in just in case. And that is because I decided to go 2 up front this season. I need to go for it just to make sure I get enough points above Dad. And I think this 4-2-2 formation can definitely, I've got the players for it in Bakwa and Gori on the wings and the strikers that I've got.
I mean, that's my favourite formation. That's the one I've used already. So
yourself, Dad?
Yeah, well, I'm behind on points, so I'm thinking to myself, I'll go for my most favourite formation, which is the 3 up front. I mean, I got a couple of good strikers in. So,
I mean, you didn't bring any other players in. That's the trouble.
No.
So you've got Diarra and Dest who have come in.
No one else was available that I felt that was going to make my team any better than what they were.
No.
So I just put in the formation I had. I had enough players for that formation. I went for it. But, I mean, from this picture you can see here now, I've changed the formation because of the start that I've had. I had to go back to the 4-2 up front.
Yeah, you went through at top and then lost 3 games in a row and find yourself 19th.
And what it doesn't say there as well, when I put in the formation, I'd lost my young, outstanding striker, didn't I?
Yeah, so he left throughout the season there. He went, just at the end of the season, on a minimum fee release clause of £59 million, which was activated.
After I offered him a new contract as well.
Yeah, which he accepted without a release clause.
So
Ben Voicey is gone.
That sort of annoyed me really, because I sort of got him ready for the last season, thought, yes, this is it, I'll go with 3 up front now. Got 3 good strikers, and I lost was sort of, not my best striker, but one of my best strikers.
Spurs as well.
Yeah.
Betrayed.
So, so as you can see, I had an awful start to the season, so I've changed my formation back to this formation. Hopefully this is going to be enough for me to get through this season, and I've got to win a cup, and you not to win a cup for me to go through, I think.
Yeah. Well, there's only a couple of points between it. You could win that just from finishing above me and beating
both
me.
games. Yeah, so it is feasible, but I feel that I've got to win something. I've got to win something.
Cards are on the table, though.
I mean, I've got 2 good strikers and 2 good wingers, so I've got a good chance, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not looking at that team and thinking, I got absolutely no chance. I'm looking at that team thinking they could win something.
Yeah, I mean, the start of the season says otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I was lucky to get through the game against Stevenage as I changed it. So I've changed it to my season starts from now, really.
Yeah, okay. Myself, to be honest, I didn't have a great start either. I've only won 1 game, 2-1 against Leicester, and I've drawn against Arsenal, which actually is I'm quite pleased with. But I've even been knocked out by Port Vale, so I'm not even in the Carabao Cup.
No.
Going forward. But I also lost to Leeds and I also lost to Newcastle. It's a tough start to the season for both of us, and the points are very close. So season number 5 comes down to the wire. Who's going to win? Get your predictions in, and also press that subscribe button. We're en route to 150k, and you can help us get there. Let's simulate this final year. Final season, and I'm in 9th place. Dad, you're in 16th. However, Dad, you're unemployed.
After that start of the season, they didn't give me much longer.
Brilliant.
And the worst thing about it was, I'd started playing well. I was in the Europa Cup, and I was beating teams. I beat Dortmund at home 5-2. No, at their place 5-2. And then I went on a good run and won 4 games in a row. Lost my next game, sacked.
Oh, can we bring the violinist back? Dad's got a sad moment again.
I just couldn't believe it when they sacked me. I thought, you're having a laugh.
You lasted to the 7th of November.
Yeah.
And if we look at the 7th of November here, so December 7th of November, the Brighton game was the game that you were sacked off the back of.
I mean, look at
after beating Valencia 5-1, after beating Man City 1-0,
beating Liverpool in the cup.
Everton 2-2. So at that point, there was no points.
I mean, look at the
gifted
first
between us
in September. The two European, they're like 5-2 and 4-3.
Yeah.
So in the Europa League, I was doing so well. Got through to the next round of the cup. Valencia 5-1.
It's the start of the season that killed you.
100%. Bad choice of formation. Should have stuck to the formation that it was before, which I started the second part of the season.
You're not telling me the Tinkerman is saying he should have stuck with the the right tactic.
I looked at it and I thought, well, I've got 3 good strikers, didn't I, with that young lad. And when I realised he wasn't there, I should have went back instead of persevering with it after I realised he'd gone. I think I'd have been better with him than it actually happened. So yeah, I should have persevered with it and gone back.
The Tinkerman shouldn't have tinkered. Thank you to everybody, by the way, who's been buying your Tinkerman merch. You can see it at the shop there. Dad's got his en route as well.
Yeah.
That you're enjoying it. The merch actually looks really good, so that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I've still not even got ours yet. So some of you got it before we have. So there we go. Really do appreciate it. But yes, you were sacked, Dad. Your team actually went on to go into the final where you lost against Arsenal. You wouldn't have got any points even if you won, obviously, because it wasn't your team.
No.
But they went on to the Carabao Cup final, lost to Arsenal in extra time on penalties there, and the Europa League got to the quarter-final before losing to Villarreal.
Yeah.
However, I did all right. I finished in the FA Cup 5th round, knocked out by Derby. The Carabao Cup 2nd round by Port Vale we already established, but I finished down in 9th place. It wasn't great. I even finished behind Luton, who, come back up and down 3 times, I think, since we've been doing this video alone. So it's been a very
1 point
weird
behind them and 2 points behind Brighton, really, to get into that 7th place. So
yeah, been a very, very weird rebuild.
Oh,
the free transfer rebuild. What a challenge that was.
I gotta think this is probably my hardest challenge.
Do you think?
I didn't enjoy it at all. Really, really didn't enjoy it at all. It wasn't. I was looking at players thinking, I would never sign you in a month of Sundays, and yet I'm signing you because I need you.
Brilliant. Now, next week, we're going to do something a little bit different because it's another suggestion from the comment section, and it's where we're going to spin the wheel, and when we spin the wheel and it lands on a certain tactic, we have to use that tactic. That's going to be next week's video, so make sure you subscribe so you do not miss that. But Dad, of course, you get minus 10 points.
Yeah.
Let's look at the points tally and see where we finally finish. So the season points are Omega Luke with 1 and Omega Dad with minus 10, meaning the total points are Omega Luke with 10 and Omega Dad with minus 3. So yes, 10 to minus 3. It was a lot closer in season 4 than what it ended in season 5.
Yeah,
there we go.
When I looked at the points at the end of the season 4, and I thought I'm still in with a chance with 1 season to go. I thought I haven't done bad here. I thought right, and that's what made me think I'll go for it then. Just do what I normally do and go for it with 3 up front, and then bad mistake.
Didn't pay off.
No.
Never mind. You got to take these risks though, because if you didn't, you just sat there with 2 points behind.
Yeah.
Nothing would have happened. There we go. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you'll check out next week's. But if not, we started episode 1 of the Champions League, Race to the Champions League, where we begin from unemployment. A couple episodes are out already, but here is episode 1 on screen for you if you haven't watched it, and you can catch up. Enjoy.